What's up, everybody? Welcome to Rise and Grind Radio 3.0, your premier health and fitness podcast. I'm Scott the Body, your host, and this is our very first episode. So thanks for tuning in. It's called the inaugural episode. We got an amazing show lined up for you folks. So in honor of Mental Health Awareness Month, we wanted to focus on mindfulness and how it can positively impact our overall well-being. Now, whether you struggle with an emotional disorder, PTSD, or you're just looking to improve your overall mental health, I think this episode is going to be for you. And guess what? We're going to explore it together. So in today's episode, we're going to break down what mindfulness actually means, talk about its benefits, and discuss how to incorporate it into our fitness routines. By the end of the episode, we hope to inspire you and make mindfulness a part of your everyday life, and maybe take some steps towards a healthier and more mindful lifestyle. All right, let's jump into it. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness is all about being present and aware of our surroundings and what's going on within us. It's also about focusing on the present moment without judgment or acknowledging our thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations. Now, practicing mindfulness, we can develop a greater sense of self-awareness and acceptance of the world around us. Moving on to part 2, the benefits of mindfulness for health and fitness. Practicing mindfulness has a ton of benefits, especially when it comes to our health and fitness overall. Let's dive in, shall we? So, I think the number one concern we go through or live with every day is that thing we call stress, right? They say stress kills. So I put that at the top of the priority list today. Stress reduction. Mindfulness practices have been proven to reduce stress, resulting in improved mental and physical well-being. You might be wondering what the deal is with cortisol and the immune system. I'll tell you what. Cortisol, it's simple. It's produced by the adrenal gland. When your body goes under that stress, that flight or fight response. It's often referred to as the stress hormone. Now, while cortisol can be helpful in small amounts, high levels of cortisol for extended periods of time can weaken our immune system. And it'll make us more susceptible to greater illnesses and infections. By incorporating mindfulness practices into our lives, we can keep our cortisol levels balanced and promote a much healthier immune system. Cortisol doesn't just affect our immune system, it also messes with our cytokines. What's the cytokine, Scotty? Tell you what, man. Cytokines are proteins that help cell signaling and play a vital role in our immune response. Now, chronic stress and high cortisol levels suppress the production of these precious cytokines. This can lead to reduction in inflammation, but it also weakens our immune system's ability to fight off infections. Thankfully, mindfulness practices like meditation can just lower your cholesterol. Oops, I'm ahead of myself. Can boost cytokine production. This may help maintain a healthy immune system response and prevent chronic illnesses. But hold on. Mindfulness does even more for our immune function. Studies show that mindfulness can increase the production of antibodies, which you guys know are essential for fighting off all our diseases. Plus, practicing mindfulness encourages us to make healthier lifestyle choices, such as exercising daily, right, or regularly, right, eating well, and maybe getting enough sleep. All of these factors can contribute to a stronger immune system. Now, let's talk about mindfulness and how it can reduce the risk of these chronic diseases. Many chronic diseases, like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and cancer, are all linked to stress and long term inflammation. But by reducing stress and inflammation through these mindfulness practices, we can lower the risk of developing these diseases, and it's not that hard. All you got to do is be a little conscious. Let me give you a couple examples. For instance, there was this one study, and researchers found that mindfulness based stress reduction actually lowered blood pressure and improved cholesterol levels with patients with heart disease. Imagine that. Yeah, okay. Another study showed that mindfulness meditation reduced markers of inflammation and oxidative stress in patients with metabolic syndrome, which is a condition that increases the chance of developing heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. So it seems that mindfulness practice might not only just be good for the mind, but good for the body too. I got like so many buttons here. Now let's talk about mindfulness practices and how they can help reduce the risk of developing diabetes. Now there's a study that they found mindfulness-based stress reduction led to a decrease in blood sugar levels and a decrease in the risk of developing type 2 diabetes. I found that to be pretty amazing. Buttons are nuts. All right, moving on. Let's dive into some more mindfulness examples and practices that have been shown to improve blood sugar levels, like I just said. The one practice is the most popular one, is mindfulness-based stress reduction, or MBSR. It's an evidence-based program designed to help people manage stress and build resilience. Developed by a gentleman by the name of John Kabat-Zinn, somewhere around the late 70s. I'm just generalizing this because I really didn't look into that much. It's not like I took a biography of the gentleman. So the program, it seemed to be consisting of 8 sessions weekly, where participants learn various mindfulness meditation practices, where the practices aim to increase awareness of thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations, all while cultivating non-judgment and compassion. So that empathy goes a long way. It's been extensively researched and has been found effective in reducing stress, anxiety, and improving overall well-being. So, I mean, it's been around that long. Why change the wheel, right? Or try to reinvent the wheel. Then there's the loving kindness meditation, which involves cultivating feelings of love, compassion, and kindness towards oneself and others. This practice has been found to improve blood sugar levels and decrease inflammation in individuals with type 2 diabetes. Oh, and speaking of type 2 diabetes, let's not forget about improved emotional awareness and regulation. Mindfulness helps us to become more aware of our emotional experiences so we can identify and respond to stress, anxiety, or anger in healthier ways. By sensing and responding to our internal bodily signals, we can actually learn to regulate our emotions better. It's something that I've been practicing myself, and honestly, I found this breathing technique a friend sent me a while back. You breathe in for 4 seconds, you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold for 4 seconds, and then you release. You exhale for 4 seconds, and then pause again for 4 seconds. You repeat that 4 times. And by the end of the fourth time, you should have clarity or anxiety or anger or whatever stress you have at that moment in time should subside, and you should have a more clear head. Apart from all those incredible benefits, mindfulness practices can also enhance our empathy and compassion towards others. Imagine that. By being more aware of our own bodily sensations and emotions, we can develop a deeper sense of understanding and empathy for others going through similar experiences, right? May not be the same exact thing, but we all we all understand, right? We all got to go through it. We all got to get through it too. It's like creating this unspoken bond. It's like that old saying, "Real recognizes real." I see you guys. Now let's talk about how we can incorporate mindfulness into our fitness routines. It's a lot easier than you think. First off, you can start off with some mindfulness deep breathing before your workouts. Just take a few moments to focus on your breath and be present in your body. It really helps to get more focused, right? I always thought so. Unless you guys are into that, you know, screaming in your ear nonsense, and I got to be, you know, whatever, Godzilla at the gym all the time. I think that could get you hurt more, personally. Guided meditation is also a fantastic tool before, during, and after your workouts. It helps to improve. I mean, some people. I felt it's all a subjective, right? It's not. You could try this. If it doesn't work, don't call me and yell at me, right? But this is more of a insight. It helps to improve focus and keeps you in the present moment. So maybe if that's not for you and you're into slow movements, try incorporating yoga into your weekly routine. I tell most of my clients who are able to incorporate yoga at least once a week, just for mindfulness purposes and flexibility purposes, and we'll get into that later on in further episodes. So yoga allows you to connect with your body and its movement in a more of a mindful way. Now, lastly, during your workouts, let's make it a habit to take intentional steps and fully focus on your body and physical movements. It's all about being present and really engaging with your body. I'm sure you understand. That mind muscle connection goes miles. All right. Now, let's talk about the healthy eating and how mindfulness can totally help promote better, much healthier eating. Now, by being more present and in the moment, slowing it down, we become more aware of our hunger and fullness cues. And all this leads to better choices and healthier lifestyle. Now, let's talk about how mindfulness can totally boost your body awareness, or how fancy people call it, interoception. Basically, it means you're paying more attention to what's going on inside of you, and that's fine. Mindfulness can totally help with that. When you practice mindfulness, you become super tuned in with what's happening in your body and your emotions. It's like having an awesome connection with yourself. You start noticing those physical and emotional feelings that might have slipped by before. Now, for those, like I said, this is for the folks out there who, uh, you know, you're going through it, right? Everyone's got their stuff, whether it's temporary or it's long term. We all got to get through it. So when you're being more mindful, some things might come up. You start noticing things about yourself that you never did before. Standards may increase, right? Your taste in things may change, right? Your friend circle may differ, right? Your likes and dislikes will also change. This is all coming to be with mindful and kind of discovering who you are. That's why we're all here, right? Finding out why we're here. We all have a reason, and they're all different reasons, which is awesome in itself. Now, when you start noticing physical and emotional feelings that might have slipped by before, this is when all the magic happens. But fear not. This is this is a good thing. Let's bust a few myths about mindfulness. Some people think about being mindful is means you shut your brain down and you're cold. That's not the case at all. Mindfulness is about knowing that thoughts will come and they will go, but you can't let them control you. You acknowledge them without judgment, like the warrior in the garden who knows how to handle whatever comes their way. All right. For you people with social problems or social anxiety, right? It's time to talk about the social side of things. Turns out being in the know about your internal state is like a secret superpower. Better for better communication and social skills that'll help you better understand yourself. And in a sense, understanding yourself, you can totally help will will totally help understand others in this reciprocity of empathy, right? That real recognizes real comes back. So to recap what we got going on here, folks, mindfulness is like a superhero for your health, right? Seriously, it's been linked to all kinds of awesome benefits like reducing stress, improving insulin resistance, and even boosting your immune system. I mean, that's pretty cool. It can also bring down your blood pressure, fight off inflammation, and keep a more sound mind and a healthier heart. So yeah, it's like basically giving your body a high five and saying, "You rock." So before we wrap it up today, folks, I want to leave you with this. I've been on kind of a hiatus because I got into a car accident a few months ago, and it was more of a wake up call to slow down. And ever since then, I have been slowing down. Ironically enough, I wanted to debut this 2 days ago, but things came up and I had to use my mindfulness practices. This definitely helps. I mean, I was stressed. I felt like I had to put this on by a certain date. And then it just kept getting prolonged and prolonged and prolonged. It was supposed to happen months ago. So, to back up to my car accident, about 4 days later, I found out that about half my heart works, and I had some plaque built up in a valve. So I need this mindfulness more than anything, and I know there's more than me out there, more of me out there, in whatever fashion. So if this speaks to you, share this with your friends. You know, and maybe not the episode, but the idea, because I take that if I touched your if I touched your heart, I touched your mind today. That's that's all I can really want. You got to be better every day, right? And if you can inspire at least one person every day, I think you did your job, giving back to the earth. Now, let's wrap up this beautiful episode and the power of mindfulness for our health and fitness. Remember, adopting mindfulness into your life can lead to reduced stress, a stronger immune system, and a lower risk of chronic diseases. So why wait? Let's start on this journey towards a healthier, much, and a more mindful lifestyle together. Thanks for tuning in to Rise and Grind Radio 3.0, your ultimate health and fitness podcast. Thanks again for giving me your time, giving me your mind. Stay tuned for more awesome episodes coming your way. Until next time, stay mindful and take care of yourselves. Peace.